Why do my drawings look flat as fuck? Why do your drawings look flat as fuck? Ever thought about that? No? So the biggest reason that your drawings look flat is because they do not have structure. Now what the hell exactly is structure? It is very simple. Structure is nothing but the structure of your object, the structure of any object whatsoever. So for example, this is a cube, but if I add these contour lines, then it shows the structure of the cube, like how the cube is made up of. So that is nothing but structure. So these contour lines are very important in showing off the structure of any object whatsoever. A structure gives an object its volume. It makes it three-dimensional. It gives it some, I don't know how to call it, but it gives it some sort of, fatness or some sort of, fullness, okay? Some sort of fullness, all right, so that it doesn't look flat. It has that volume. Same goes for the sphere and same goes for the cylinder. Why am I telling you to focus on structure? That is because while drawing, in order to not make your drawings look flat, you gotta have some sort of structure, or you gotta have some sort of volume into that shape, okay? And that shape can be anything. It can be a cube or a circle or a sphere, okay? Or it can be a rectangle or a cylinder, okay? Or it can be any sort of shape. Everything has a volume. Even a paper has a volume, okay? A paper is like very thin, but it still has volume. It still has that thickness, okay? So that is why the structure is very important. So for example, let's take a paper as an example. Now, how do you structurize a paper? So here I have a piece of paper laying flat on the ground. I want to add some volume or some structure to it so that I would know that it's three-dimensional. So if I wanted to write something, I cannot just go doing this, okay? It seems off, it seems weird, all right? Normally when people write, they either write like this or like this, okay? I cannot go writing like this, like randomly, okay? It will seem weird. It doesn't look three-dimensional, it doesn't have that perspective. So the easiest way to structurize this is to do this, is to draw contour lines, is to imagine contour lines. You do not have to draw them like every time, okay? You can just imagine it. So now we can write on it. Now it looks as if it is resting on a table or on the ground or something, okay? Now it looks proper, okay? Now that is how you structurize a paper. Now if you want to curve it, if you want to curve the paper, now how do you structurize that? Simple, okay? The contour lines go something like this. Now let's say I want to fold or twist the paper. The center line will go something like this. So you gotta imagine that. The contour lines are very important. You do not have to draw them every time, okay? You just have to imagine the contour lines. If I did not had these contour lines in mind, the paper would have looked flat, would have looked not natural, not in perspective, all right? So this is why the contour lines are very important. They help structurize the object, any object whatsoever. Now, as I mentioned before, structure is literally everywhere, okay? It has to be used, or it is used everywhere, even in this gesture drawing. So normally my gesture drawings are directly combined with structure. I do not go drawing the straight lines first and then then put structure on that. My gesture drawings are something like this. They are structurized from the start, okay? That helps to save time and that makes the drawing more cleaner, more flowy, okay? Now look at this. These are the contour lines of our fingers, these folds, okay? They help structurize the fingers. They help add volume, volume to the fingers. Now everywhere over here there are these contour lines. Okay, they will help structurize or add volume to your drawing, to whatever you're drawing. Okay, even while coloring, you gotta add the shadow shapes and the light shapes according to the contour lines or according to the volume of that shape of that body or whatever. Okay, so look at this forearm. This forearm doesn't have those contour lines, but if I add a band or something, like the character is wearing some sort of band or something, okay, that immediately gives the structure of that object, of that forearm. Okay, that immediately tells where the forearm is facing. Okay, and that forearm has some sort of volume. So structure or these contour lines doesn't only give volume to that object, it also shows where that object is placed in a three-dimensional space or in your world. And everything has structure, like faces have structure, the neck has structure, the hair has structure, the hair has volume. Okay, imagine that. Who would have thought the hair has volume? Okay, now I'm gonna show you an example of hair having volume. This is the basic shape of the hair. All right, and if I add these contour lines, then it magically turns into 3D. It magically has this volume, has this weight to it. So everything has structure, even the nose, the mouth, the lips, okay, they all have structure. All right, so this is the basic shape of the lips. But if I add these contour lines, the lips look full. Okay, they have that structure that makes them look full. Same goes for the nose. So everything has structure, the eyes have structure. Okay, so everything has structure, so keep that in mind. Now while drawing the figure, try to directly use gesture and structure together. It's not kind of that difficult. Okay, it needs a little bit of practice, a little bit of anticipation of where the forms will lie and stuff. Okay, so look at this. These folds on his pants indicate the contour lines. Okay, indicate the structure of that object. So that is why while drawing, I have added these folds over here, which directly indicate the structure of the object and also the gesture of that object. Okay, so these are not only contour lines, these are not only structured lines, these are also gestured lines. Okay, so this is how I combine gesture with structure. So you gotta combine both of them. That is how your drawings will not look flat. Okay, and will also have the energy that is required. So practice drawing everything using gestures and structures. Okay, start with simple objects at first, like cubes, spheres and cylinders and stuff. Okay, and then slowly move on ahead with more complex objects, but keep them as simple as possible, because if you complicate them, then it gets complicated and that is not fun at all. And then eventually move on to drawing faces and figures. But I would suggest directly start with drawing figures, because that will give you the highest amount of experience in the least amount of time. So yeah, so just combine gestures with structures and you're just good to go. You'll be a god in just one day. All right, and that's it. And I hope you like the video. Please share. Okay, I will be doing these art tips regularly, these small art tips. Okay, and subscribe and join the Discord, because we get crazy over there. Okay, yeah, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.